Who's to blame for the pollution choking our planet? That's the question on many minds as we grapple with the environmental crisis we find ourselves in. It's easy to point fingers and assign blame. Two parties often find themselves in the crosshairs: the past generations who kick-started the Industrial Revolution, and the present individuals who, despite being more informed, continue to perpetuate pollution. The past generations laid the groundwork, spearheading industrialization without a thought for the environmental fallout. Their actions have left a lasting legacy, one we're still trying to clean up. On the other hand, we have today's individuals who, despite knowing better, often choose convenience over conservation. But is this blame game helping us solve the problem, or merely deflecting from the real issue at hand? Is it fair to point fingers, or should we be focusing on solutions instead? Let's delve deeper into this conundrum as we navigate through the murky waters of pollution. The roots of pollution dig deep into our past, beginning with the Industrial Revolution. This epoch marked a radical shift in human history, a time when technological innovation and economic growth became the driving forces of society. But this period of rapid expansion came at a steep cost: the health of our planet. The industrialists of the 18th and 19th centuries, in their pursuit of progress and profit, exploited our natural resources with little regard for the environment. Forests were felled, rivers were polluted, and the air filled with smoke from countless factories. And all the while, emissions of harmful pollutants were released into the atmosphere, unchecked and unregulated. But the story doesn't end there. As we moved into the 20th century, the development of fossil fuel-based industries took center stage. The burning of coal, oil, and gas became the heartbeat of progress, powering everything from factories to automobiles, from cities to entire nations. Yet this progress came with a heavy price tag. The combustion of these fuels released vast amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to the warming of our planet and the pollution of our air. Today, the legacy of these actions continues to cast a long shadow over us. The particulate matter spewed out by the factories of yesteryear and the carbon dioxide emitted by our modern-day machines have become the main drivers of climate change and air pollution. These pollutants disrupt ecosystems, threaten biodiversity, and pose significant risks to human health around the world. But it's not just about the actions of those who came before us. The choices we make today, right now, also play a significant role in the state of our environment. Our daily activities, our consumption habits, and our political decisions all contribute to the ongoing problem of pollution. Our ancestors may have ignited the spark, but we're the ones fanning the flames. The responsibility of addressing pollution and steering our planet towards a more sustainable future is a burden we all share. It's a challenge for our generation, and it will be a challenge for generations to come. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves still mired in the pollution problem. The legacy of past pollution persists, worsened by our modern lifestyles that are characterized by rampant consumerism and unsustainable practices. Sure, we have technological advancements that could help us mitigate pollution, but the inertia of vested interests and societal norms often stand as formidable roadblocks on our path to progress. Despite our growing awareness of environmental issues, many of us continue to prioritize convenience and short-term gains over long-term sustainability. We choose plastic over paper, drive when we could walk, and throw away when we could recycle. Each of these choices, small as they may seem, contributes to the pollution problem that we so often blame on the past. But let's not forget, pollution is not just a problem we inherited, it's a problem we exacerbate. The unequal distribution of environmental impacts only fuels the issue, disproportionately affecting marginalized communities and developing nations. Affluent regions enjoy cheap goods produced in regions with lax environmental regulations, a phenomenon known as environmental outsourcing. This not only outsources production but also outsources pollution, further muddying the waters of responsibility. We cannot discuss modern-day complicity in pollution without acknowledging this dynamic. It underscores the interconnectedness of global pollution and the shared responsibility of all individuals, regardless of geographical location. We are all part of the same ecosystem, and our actions, no matter how small or seemingly isolated, have ripple effects that can be felt around the world. So where does this leave us? We find ourselves at a crossroads. On one hand, we have the legacy of past generations, a world powered by fossil fuels and marked by environmental degradation. On the other, we have the choices we make every day, choices that either perpetuate or combat the pollution problem. We may not have started the fire, but we're certainly not doing enough to put it out. So, who's really to blame for pollution? Well, the answer isn't as straightforward as it might seem. It's not just about pointing fingers at the past or present, but acknowledging that we all share a role in this. Consider this: the choices we make every day, from what we buy to how we travel, even the way we vote, all have an impact on the environment. Whether we like it or not, our daily activities, consumption habits, and political decisions contribute to pollution. The past has set the stage, and we, the present, are continuing the performance. But remember, every performance can be rewritten, every act can be changed. We've all inherited this planet and its problems, but we've also inherited the power to make a difference. The blame game is a dead end. It's time we took responsibility for our actions. The question isn't who started it, but who's going to stop it. We are all players in the story of pollution, and we each hold a piece of the solution. It's not enough to simply acknowledge the problem. We must take responsibility for our role in it and actively work to reduce our impact. This isn't a task for one person, one community, or one country alone. It's a global challenge that requires collective action. We need to rethink our consumption habits, demand sustainable practices from businesses, and advocate for policies that prioritize the health of our planet over short-term gains. It's time to shift away from the blame game and towards positive action. We need to forge partnerships, mobilize resources, and spark innovations that can turn the tide on pollution. It's not about pointing fingers, it's about joining hands. Together we can clean up our act and our planet.